Right now, someone is lying to you. You don't know it, you can't feel it, and statistically, you have less than a 55% chance of catching it, barely better than a coin flip. But here's the part nobody tells you. You have probably lied to someone lately, to a friend, to a colleague, maybe even to someone you love, not because you're a bad person, because you're human. And lying is one of the oldest, strangest, most automatic things your brain does. In 2002, psychologist Robert Feldman at the University of Massachusetts ran a simple study. He asked pairs of strangers to have a 10-minute conversation, totally normal, totally casual. Then he played the recordings back. The average person had lied 3 times, in 10 minutes, and most of them had absolutely no idea they had done it. When Feldman ran the full numbers, he found something that should make you uncomfortable. The average person tells between 1 and 2 lies every single waking hour. That is up to 200 lies a day. Not big lies, not evil lies, just lies, constantly, automatically, like breathing. Now, your first instinct is probably to say, not me, I don't lie that much. And that reaction is also part of the problem, because we have a completely distorted picture of what lying actually is. When most people hear the word lie, they think of something deliberate, calculated, malicious. A villain looking someone in the eye and saying something they know is false. But that is the rarest form of lying that exists. Psychologists divide lies into 3 categories. The first is prosocial lying. These are lies that protect other people. You look great. I am fine. Don't worry. That presentation was really good. These make up the vast majority of all human lies. They are not selfishness. They are social glue. Without them, every conversation would feel like an interrogation. And this is where lying becomes something genuinely surprising, something most people never consider. Lying, in the right moment, can actually be one of the most generous things you can do for another person. Think about 2 friends who stop talking after a fight, months of silence. Then one of them finally reaches out and says, I never blamed you for what happened. Maybe that is not entirely true. Maybe there is still some hurt underneath it. But that small, careful lie opens the door. It gives the other person permission to come back. It makes peace possible when the full truth would only make things worse. Or think about the colleague who just gave a terrible presentation. They worked on it for weeks. You can see it on their face, the anxiety, the need for reassurance. You tell them it was good. Not because it was, but because you know that crushing them right now helps nobody. And you know that people grow better from encouragement than from brutal honesty at the worst possible moment. This is what psychologists call prosocial lying. And research consistently shows that people who use it skillfully are rated as more likable, more trustworthy, and better at maintaining long-term relationships than people who insist on saying everything they think all the time. The truth is not always the kindest tool available. The second category is self-serving lies. These are the ones you tell to protect your image, avoid punishment, or manage how others see you. I already sent that email. I was just about to do it. I have read that book. You know exactly what this feels like. And the third, the rarest and darkest category, is antisocial lying. Lies designed to deliberately hurt or manipulate someone else. These make up a tiny fraction of all lying. But they are the ones we fear the most, because somewhere along the way, we built our entire understanding of deception around the rarest form of it, and that mistake changes everything. So why does your brain lie at all? In 2006, neuroscientist Sean Spence at the University of Sheffield put people inside an MRI scanner and asked them to either tell the truth or lie. When people lied, their prefrontal cortex lit up intensely, the same region of the brain responsible for planning, self-control, and complex decision-making. Lying is not simple. It is cognitively expensive. Your brain has to hold the truth in mind, actively suppress it, construct an entirely different version of reality, and then deliver it convincingly, all at the same time. Truth is effortless. Lying is work. And yet your brain does it hundreds of times a day without asking your permission. Because here is what evolution actually built you for. For most of human history, you lived in a group of 50 to 150 people. Your survival did not just depend on finding food or avoiding predators. It depended on being accepted, being liked, being seen as valuable enough to keep around. And the brutal truth is, total honesty was a threat to that. Saying exactly what you thought all the time to everyone got people exiled, or worse. So your brain learned. It learned that sometimes the version of reality that keeps the group together is more important than the version that is strictly accurate. And it automated that process over millions of years until it became invisible. That voice that says, "I am fine," before you have even processed how you actually feel. That is not weakness. That is 2 million years of social engineering running in the background. Now, here is where it gets genuinely dark. If we are lying this much, why can we not catch each other doing it? In 2014, psychologist Bella DePaulo at UC Santa Barbara reviewed decades of research on human lie detection. Her conclusion was uncomfortable. Professional lie detectors, customs agents, police officers, judges, interrogators, people whose entire career depends on reading deception, perform at roughly 54% accuracy. 54%. Random chance is 50. Years of training, thousands of interrogations, and the real advantage is 4 percentage points. You are not bad at detecting lies. Everyone is bad at detecting lies. We evolved to communicate, to cooperate, to trust, not to interrogate. And the signals we instinctively look for, eye contact, nervousness, hesitation, turn out to have almost no reliable connection to actual deception. Liars do not always look away. Nervous people are not always lying. We built our lie detection system on myths, and it fails us constantly. And here is the strangest part of all. The people we know best, our partners, our closest friends, our family, we are actually worse at catching their lies than we are with strangers. Not better, worse. Because we want to believe them. Our brain actively filters out signals it does not want to process. It protects the relationship by protecting the lie. The closer someone is to you, the harder your own mind works to keep you from seeing what is really there. Now, some researchers push back on these numbers. They argue that lab conditions do not fully capture real-world deception, that some people genuinely do perform above average at lie detection with specific training. Psychologist Paul Ekman at UC San Francisco spent decades cataloging microexpressions, tiny involuntary facial movements lasting fractions of a second, and found that a small number of trained individuals can read them with real accuracy. So the picture is not completely hopeless. It is just much harder than any of us want to admit. So the next time you say, "I am fine," when you are not, that is your brain protecting the relationship. The next time you tell someone their bad idea is interesting, that is your brain doing 2 million years of social math in under a second, calculating that the cost of honesty right now is higher than the cost of a small kindness. And the next time you reach out to someone you have not spoken to in months and say something that is not entirely true but opens a door that was closed, that is not weakness. That is one of the most human things you can do. But here's the question that stays with you. If we are all lying constantly, and almost none of us can detect it, what exactly are our relationships built on? The answer might not be truth. It might be the shared, quiet agreement to believe the things that hold us together. The real question is not whether someone is lying to you right now. It is whether the lie they are telling is one you actually need.